What's up, Yarny Box Crocheters? This October we have this super cute Tony the Turkey tutorial for you. In your Yarny Box kit, you'll find that the magic ring is already started for you. This is so that we can start off the project nice and easy and you don't have to worry about a complicated beginning. This is the very first round of the project. Here you'll see I'm pointing out the little V's. These are actually stitches, so you should be able to go around the circle and count 6 stitches or 6 V's. The stitches are what you're going to be working into in the next round in order to build on your project. You'll also find 2 stitch markers. This blue one here is marking the very first stitch of the round. That's where we're going to place the first stitch of the next round. The green stitch marker is marking the loop in which you're going to place your crochet hook to start working. You can see here that you can actually tighten and loosen this loop by pulling on the string that's attached to the ball of yarn. There are 2 different ways in which you can hold your crochet hook. This first way is like a knife. The second way is like a pencil. I personally find the pencil hold a little bit easier, but it's up to you. You can play around and hold your crochet hook however you'd like. Next, you're going to take the yarn that's attached to the ball of yarn and wrap it a couple times around your finger. And then I like to pinch the magic ring with my middle finger and thumb like this. Again, this is just how I like to work on my projects, but as you go along, you can play with how you want to hold everything. So you can remove the green stitch marker and pop in your crochet hook into that loop. You're going to want to tighten the loop to make it so that it's pretty tight on the crochet hook. Don't make it so tight that you can't move the crochet hook, but you definitely don't want it to be too loose. Something like this is appropriate. The trickiest part about learning how to crochet is learning how to hold everything in your hands. I definitely recommend rewatching the beginning of this video until you get the hang of holding everything. And if you accidentally undo your magic ring, I have a tutorial linked down below of how to redo that. So let's get started on round 2. We're going to start off by removing the blue stitch marker. You can pull on it a little bit and you'll find a little hole. That's exactly where we're going to be inserting our hook into to make the very first stitch of round 2. So once you pop out your stitch marker, you're going to insert your hook exactly where the stitch marker was. Before we insert a hook, I just want to make sure that you're holding your hook properly. So you want to make sure it's parallel to your body and make sure the hook is facing downwards. That's going to make it a lot easier to guide the yarn in and out of each stitch. So pop your hook into the stitch. Again, it looks like a V, so now you should have 3 little loops on your hook. Next, we are going to yarn over, which means we're grabbing the yarn with our crochet hook like this, and we are gliding the yarn through the first 2 little loops on our hook like so. And now we're going to do that again, so yarn over and pull the yarn through the 2 loops on your hook. This is called a single crochet. This is the first stitch of the round. Our next stitch is going in the exact same stitch that we were just in. So this stitch and not this stitch. We're going in the same hole that we were just in. So insert your hook into that little V, yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops like so. Now you have 2 loops left on your hook, so yarn over and pull through those 2 remaining loops. What we just did is called an increase because we popped 2 stitches into 1 stitch. Now you're going to count down 2 stitches away from the loop or the first stitch that we made, and you're going to mark it with a stitch marker. Next, we're going to make another single crochet in the next available stitch. So that's going to be this one here. Pop in your hook. There's 3 loops on your hook now. Yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops, and then yarn over again and pull through those second 2 loops. That was 1 single crochet. Now we're going to make our second single crochet in the same exact hole. So in the same place we just were, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over again, pull through the second 2 loops. Again, this is called an increase because we placed 2 single crochets into 1 stitch. So now we have 4 new stitches, but we've only worked into 2 stitches from the previous round. So here I'm just pointing out with my thumb the 4 new stitches that we've done. Carrying on to the next stitch, we are going to make a single crochet, and now we're going to make a second single crochet in the exact same hole. Moving on to the next stitch. Again, here's your first single crochet, and here's your second single crochet in the same stitch. Again, popping your first single crochet in there and your second single crochet. And now we're moving on to the very last stitch of the round. 1 single crochet and 2 single crochets. That completes round 2. So because we placed 2 single crochets in each of the stitches of the previous round, we now have 12 little V's or 12 stitches in this round. So you should be able to go around and count 12 stitches. For round 3, we are going to be increasing in every other stitch around, and we are going to end up with 18 stitches at the end of this round. So start off by removing your stitch marker, insert your hook into the working loop, and make 1 single crochet in the next available stitch. That's right there, right where your stitch marker was. Make 1 single crochet. And then we are going to pause and mark this stitch. Then in the next available stitch, we are going to be making an increase. So again, an increase is 2 single crochets in the same stitch. This is our first single crochet, and going in for the second single crochet in the exact same stitch. And now we are going to make 1 single crochet. Then in the next available stitch, make an increase. Then make 1 single crochet in the next stitch. Now make an increase in the next stitch. Continue alternating between a single crochet and increase around the entire ring until you get back to the stitch marker. And this is going to bring us up to 18 stitches at the end of the round. Now we have completed 18 stitches, and in the next round we are going to be increasing only in every 3rd stitch around. So start off round 4 by removing your stitch marker and placing your first single crochet of the round, and then mark that stitch. Then we are going to make another single crochet in the next available stitch. And then make an increase in the 3rd stitch. So single crochet in the next available stitch, single crochet again, then make an increase. single crochet, single crochet, and increase. Keep repeating this pattern until you get back to the stitch marker. We're going to have 24 stitches at the end of this round. So we're coming up on the last increase of round 4. And you should be able to count 24 stitches in your magic ring. Round 5 is going to be our last round of increasing, and we are increasing in every 4th stitch around the ring this time. So start off by making your first single crochet of the round and then mark that stitch. Then make another single crochet and another single crochet, and then make an increase in the 4th stitch. So single crochet, single crochet, single crochet, and increase. And just keep repeating this pattern until you get back to the stitch marker. You're going to have 30 stitches at the end of this round. Coming up on the last increase of the round here. And now we are done increasing, and you should have 30 stitches in this round. Before we continue on, we are going to weave in our end. So you're going to take that very center tail piece and we're going to tighten it as tight as you can. Then grab your yarn needle from your Yarny Box kit and weave it onto that tail. I like to fold the yarn in half and kind of scooch it on. It makes it a lot easier. And then you are just going to take your needle and poke it in and out of random holes in the bottom. Just make sure you're only ever going across one stitch at a time so it doesn't show on the other side what we're doing. And what this does is prevent the tail from unraveling. So this is called weaving in your end. I like to do that probably 5 to 7 times. Just make sure it's nice and tight. And now we can continue onto the body of the turkey. So for round 6, all we're doing is 1 single crochet in every stitch around. We are not increasing at all anymore. So make your first stitch of the round and then mark that stitch. Then just continue on single crocheting all the way around the circle. And you are going to have 30 stitches at the end of this round. For the next 9 rounds, we are going to be doing the exact same thing, just one single crochet in every single stitch around the round, no longer increasing. Here I'm going to show you how to count the rounds in case you get lost. This is round 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and round 6. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. You can see they kind of look like little lines separated by tiny little holes. So if you get lost while we're going on, you can always go back and count your rounds like this. Again, we are doing 9 rounds. Just don't forget to mark the beginning stitch of every single round. And I'm going to speed up this next portion because we're just doing the same thing over and over again. And I will meet you back once you are completed up to round 15. I'm just coming up on the last few stitches of round 15 here. And now we can pause. Your turkey should be looking something like this, kind of like a little potato. And we are going to pop in his eyes now. So these are safety eyes. They come with a black piece and a rubber plastic piece. You are going to take the black piece, make sure you're on the opposite side of the stitch marker, and count down to round 7. So between round 7 and 8 is where we're going to put the eyes. And just pop them in wherever you like them. I like mine to be about 2 or 3 stitches apart. Just like so. Make sure you're happy with the placement before you secure the backs on. And just make sure they're also on the same round as well, because you don't want a wonky-eyed turkey. And then once you're happy with the placement, just pop on the backs. And those just click into place. And now we can continue on to round 16. Round 16 we are going to start decreasing. So place your first single crochet of the round and then mark that stitch. Next we are going to make another single crochet and another single crochet. Now we are going to make our decrease. So here you can see every stitch has 2 halves, a back and a front. We are going in the front loops only of the next 2 stitches. So here you can see in my hook there's still the back loop that's not on my hook. And we're going directly into the stitch beside it as well. So there are now 3 loops on my hook. Now we are going to yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops, leaving 2 loops on your hook, and then yarn over again and pull through the remaining loops. And that combined 2 stitches into 1. So now we can single crochet another 3 times. And now we are going to make a decrease. So again, front loop only of the next 2 stitches. Yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over again to pull through 2. Then single crochet, single crochet, single crochet, and decrease. Front loop only of the next 2 stitches. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Then continue 3 single crochets in a row, and then make another decrease. Continue this pattern until you get back to the stitch marker. We are going to have 24 stitches at the end of this round. So this is the last decrease, and as you can see, the body is curving inwards, and we are now closing the body up. So for round 17, we are doing decreases in every 3rd stitch. So make your first single crochet and then mark that stitch. Then make another single crochet and then decrease. Single crochet, then decrease. Single crochet, and decrease. And just keep repeating this pattern until you get back to the stitch marker. We are going to have 18 stitches at the end of this round. Round 18, we're decreasing in every other stitch, but first I'm going to stuff my turkey a little bit. So grab your stuffing from your Yarny Box kit, and then I like to pull the stuffing apart to make it unclumped. And just start lightly stuffing your turkey, making sure that you are really shaping out the head and that the stuffing is reaching all 4 corners of the body. We are not going to stuff it all the way full, or else it's going to be really hard to keep crocheting. So just stuff it until it's mostly full, but it's definitely still easy to work with. And we'll continue stuffing as we go along. So insert your hook, make your first single crochet of round 18, and then mark that stitch. Then we are going straight into a decrease, and then single crochet and decrease. Single crochet and decrease. Just keep repeating this pattern until you get back to the stitch marker. We're going to have 12 stitches at the end of this round. I'm going to pause here and add a bit more stuffing. Then for the last round, we are decreasing all the way around the circle. So remove your stitch marker and place your first decrease of round 19. And then mark that stitch. Then just continue decreasing all the way around the circle, and we're going to have 6 stitches at the end of this round. To finish up the turkey, we are going to snip the yarn, leave about 8 to 10 inches for sewing, and then pull the yarn all the way through. That's going to fasten off. Then thread your yarn needle, and to close up the hole, we are going to insert our needle into the front loop of every single stitch around. This is going to act as a drawstring where we can just pull it shut later. Here you can just pull it tight, and then we are going to poke our tail back in through the body and weave in the end, just poking your needle in and out of random stitches to secure it in place. And then once you've done that a few times, you can trim your yarn. This completes part 1 of the turkey. In part 2, I'm going to show you how to make the beak, the wattle, and the tail, and I will see you there.